Oh, we're live. We're live. We're live. Okay, great.
Run sheet's here if you want.
The run sheet's here, great. Hey, welcome along to, welcome to Giltrap, Skoda, Newmarket, Auckland, New Zealand, Southern Hemisphere, the world, Milky Way, galaxy, the universe. I'm John. This is Tim.
Hi, John.
This is the third episode of the Ride Live podcast. Not podcast, what is it called? A pod view, a web show,
a live
video.
Session.
What?
Webcast. Yeah, live webcast.
And today we're going to have some excitement. We're going to show you we're going to feature a very cool road bike, an aero bike from New Zealand. So it's a spotlight on New Zealand. It's your bike.
Yeah.
We don't need to boast. All right. But it is a very cool bike from New Zealand, from a new biking company making very cool stuff, and a set of wheels also out of New Zealand, sort of via Hong Kong, that also you should see and know about. We're going to unbox a couple of fantastic Lazer mountain bike helmets here, and we're also going to have a little bit of fun today with, what else are we going to do? I've got some news to tell you about a giant leap forward in the world of cycling as transport here in New Zealand. So that's all coming up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Paige, not with us.
Yeah, so we're down a presenter.
She's not dead, but not here tonight due to being ill. Because it is the middle of winter in Auckland.
Absolutely.
How much riding have you done? How much saddle time have you had
in the last couple of weeks, I've done pretty much nothing. I've been for a couple of runs, but running is not my forte, so that was a bit terrible. Zwift, however. Zwifting.
Show me time. How many hours?
5 hours, 6 hours. In 2 weeks.
That's not
pretty shocking.
Okay.
Pretty shocking. But Zwift, Giro's on at the moment. Anyone who's been following along, we're about stage 10 or 11 in the Giro. The time trial on stage 8 had Zwift replicated that time trial on Zwift, so you could actually ride the time trial that the guys were actually going up this pretty huge, monstrous hill.
Could you ride it at the same time as you were watching it on TV live, if you wanted?
I'm unsure about it. You probably could have. Yeah, you probably could.
Did you ride it?
No, I did not. Because apparently it was hideous.
Well, it was hideous. Ask Simon Yates. Simon Yates, contender in the Giro d'Italia, a contender in any Grand Tour he rides in, ended up losing 3 minutes on that stage to Primoz Roglic, who's now looking even better.
Even stronger. Went into second place. He absolutely smashed it up that hill. Talking about riders looking good, he just looked fantastic all the way up, stayed on his aero bike. I think it was Campanet's, the current world hour record holder, swapped bikes. I'm unsure if that was a mechanical or something.
Yeah.
But he swapped over onto his normal road bike to ride most of it, and he lost by 11 seconds to Roglic, who came smashing up behind.
Other big shout-outs on the World of the World Tour would have to be George Bennett, New Zealander, with being parochial, came fourth at the Tour of California, has won that race before, but this year, the rise of the young guns, the average age...
We said it in episode 1, didn't we?
Episode 1, you told us about the rise of the young guys. Average age of the podium at the Tour of California this year, 21 years old. The winner, 20 years old, very young.
Yeah,
it's
from UAE,
yeah.
But I can never pronounce his name. Tadjek Podakar.
Sorry to the whole of the whole of Eastern Europe.
Pronunciation.
Big apologies. It's going to be interesting at the Tour de France to see how these young guys go, whether that has a flow-on effect, through the Tour of California to the longer tours, and whether we're going to see these guys coming up. Also interested to see whether we get George Bennett in the Tour de France this year. I'm not sure, I haven't heard that news yet, but last year he rode the Giro as he was supported to win the Giro, obviously didn't win it.
So this year,
what a lot of Visma going to be doing, Jumbo-Visma, probably...
riding behind Kruijswijk, trying to support him, George Bennett. We don't know what the start list is, so we're pure conjecture at the moment. But hopefully we will see a Kiwi riding in support.
Don't forget to like and subscribe here to the Ride Live. Like and subscribe. Ideally both, or just one or the other, whatever you're up to.
Or hit that little bell, because there's a little bell that warns you when, you know, new stuff comes out. Alerts you, doesn't warn you.
Now, I believe you've got a bike you want to show us.
Oh, yeah.
So hit cue music for Tim going to get a bike.
All right, I'll bring you around. Is that in shot, out of shot?
That's beautiful.
What have you got?
Gonna have to hold it. Right, this is my bike.
Now, so you're watching the world tour, right? You're looking at the bike brands that we're all used to. We all see the Meritas, you've got your Giants and your Cannondales and your Colnagos and your Specialized and all the the Canyons that we're used to seeing.
And then you have...
Then you have all over the world manufacturers making their own bikes, looking very much like, feeling very much like those bikes.
Absolutely.
What's the experience like of getting a bike like this? Tell us a little bit about this company, first of all.
So, this is Chapter 2. This is a bike designed by Mike Pride, who is a Kiwi. His dad is Neil Pride. If you've ever been into windsurfing or any water sports like that, you would have heard about this. I grew up with Neil Pride sails. I was, friends with a lot of windsurfers. So it was a brand that was true to my heart. His son is the one who has produced this. Mike lives here in Auckland, and this is what he's produced. This is a Chapter 2 RERE, and this is the aero version of the bike. And I think, Michael, if we have technology working, we are going to cut through.
We're going to show you unboxing your brand new bike. Before it got built up like this, we're going to show you unboxing. So, yes.
Great.
Awesome.
Let's have a look.
Welcome to my house and my new bike. Right, blah, 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 blah. Hey, Tim here from The Ride, and welcome to my house. What we have here is a Chapter 2. Now, there are two models in the series. There is the Terre, and then there is the RERE. So the RERE is Maori for the flow, and this is the aero version of the Chapter 2 bike designed by Mike Pride. I have been waiting to unbox this now for 2 days because this is a very special unboxing. This is my Chapter 2. Let's get into it. Right. The brand for Chapter 2 is a sort of aqua. It's almost a teal colour, and very fitting is that these luggage straps are actually branded, which is pretty cool. So off they come, and off they come. So this is the first time I've opened it. Hopefully it's nicely packed, because if it's not, it's going to come out in more than 1 or 2 bits. This is pretty exciting. Moment of truth. Oh my god! Okay. Look at that. The first thing that strikes you when you open the box is the detailing. The Maori motif is all the way around the box, so it's really nice presentation. There we go. So this RERE, the colour version of this is the matte black and gloss. So it's kind of a black. So in the box we have, let's start with the more boring things. We have a stem, headset, top cap, and I think that's the hardware for the seat post. Yeah, some more bits and pieces. Yeah, don't care about this one of the bikes, so I'll shove that down there. So let's start by getting this out. So, let's chop through. And the last thing I want to do is slice through the paintwork. Hold on, I'm going to get some bolt croppers. So, pretty well held in here. Let's check the seat post as well. Right. So, we have the seat post. So, with Chapter 2, they have multiple service courses in different countries that can help provide all the hardware and the accessories. So if you need anything extra, if you need any of the hardware, it's pretty easy to get hold of by just contacting their local service course. Seat post, which is in a really nice matte black. So the thing about matte black is, as soon as you've got greasy fingers, it no longer looks new. Squeeze the forks out. So this is actually the disc brake version. Look at that. It really is a thing of beauty. You have a matte black fork with an overlaid gloss motif, Mary motif on the inside part. And that's on both edges. Pull that off. Unboxing a bike you know you're going to ride is so much more satisfying than one you're not. That's beautiful. Right. And now for the frame. Size small RERE disc for my little legs. It's a good idea to just get measured up on their site. If you jump on to chapter2bikes.com, they have a calculator for working out the perfect size for you. If you're unsure in any way, then just drop them a line and they'll gladly help you out with anything that you need. Look at that. So this frame is going to have Ultegra Shimano Di2 disc. Once I get through this, right. Okay, and there we have it. The RERE Chapter 2 disc. And I'm not sure if you can see it. Can you see down this edge? It has almost like it's almost like the naked carbon weave, but it almost looks like a sort of wave coming down the side of it. Beautiful. So that is the unboxing of my Chapter 2 RERE. I'm really excited to get this actually up and running. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the ride. Yeah.
Okay, we're back.
So
we're back.
that was the unboxing, and this is the result.
So this is, as we said, this is the Chapter 2 RERE. I've built this up with Shimano Di2 Ultegra. So if anybody's not familiar with Di2, it's electric shifting for your bike. So previously we had mechanical, so we had generally a wire that created a pulley system going down. Now we have generally the units, the derailleurs actually have servos in them, which means that when you click the button on your shifters, it will move the gears electronically, which means that they're set up so precisely. So when you click it, it moves up one gear and one gear only, or you hit it for longer and it will go up twice or go up the whole way. And you don't get that misshift that you get on normal mechanical, where you might have to just sort of trim it very slightly to get it. So Di2 is becoming the thing. There's also what's SRAM ETAP, which is a wireless system. This actually has an electronic wire running through the bike. So it comes from your shifters. There's a junction box down inside the bike here, and the battery actually sits up in the seat post So it's nicely out of the way, you don't get any water damage, and everything's sealed, so all the connections are sealed through onto here, and it just makes for a really nice, easy running bike.
Now, I wanted to ask you the question with the Di2, do you find that once you've ridden Di2, would you ever go back to mechanical, or are you
No,
now
absolutely
bound,
not.
you'd have to now ride this, you're spoilt now forever?
Absolutely. Di2, once you've gone to electronic, I'm not sure you'd go back, unless you were trying to sort of relive things, or save money. Yeah, absolutely, save money. But or if you're trying to sort of relive the old days, yeah, absolutely. But then you get, you know, downshifters, all that sort of thing. But
you do have to worry about the batteries though. You do have to keep a curation of your battery charging, because I do know that I've had friends come out on their time trial bike for a road ride because
they've been sitting in a garage.
They'd forgotten to charge their Di2 and gotten on the bike and it wouldn't charge, and they had to come out on there. So that's probably the only disadvantage, right?
You do, but you know, if you keep on top of it, it should be fine. Like, but you say that, I was caught after a really long bike ride, 150k, 30k to get home, and the battery goes.
So you're stuck in.
And you're stuck. So what happens is the front derailleur goes first, because that zaps a lot of power, and you're left with the back. So the back will shift up and down for a while, and then once the battery completely dies, whatever gear you're in, That's it. It's a single speed from there on in.
And now the other thing I wanted to ask you about is, you know, obviously disc brakes are nothing new.
Yep.
We all know that they're a bigger and bigger part of the pro peloton. I want to ask you the same question. You've got disc wheels, and obviously it's a disc frame here. Same question I'd asked you about the electronic shifting. You've gone disc. I know your other bikes are disc too. Would you ever go back there, or is it a similar thing now you're spoilt?
Yeah, you do feel kind of spoilt with the discs, because I didn't see much difference when I swapped from rim brakes over to disc brakes. I didn't really see much difference. It was like, oh yeah, okay, maybe there is a little bit of slightly more responsive, but then it's when you go from disc brakes back onto rim brakes and you go, it's just a whole different feeling. It just, they stop you more precisely in the wet. There is a greater advantage to having it, especially when you're going downhill, and it really does stop you.
You don't care about the 300 grams of weight difference?
No, absolutely not. I like riding my aero bikes. For one, I just think they look fantastic. Like this bike, there's very little that rivals it in looks. Especially with the colour of the UD carbon, you know, just black throughout. Yeah, the weight penalty, I'm never going to be riding up a mountain day in, day out. Well, not unless my wife lets me go on a holiday and just ride. So yeah, just rolling hills, this is absolutely great. So we're going to weigh the sucker. Hold on. Yeah, so
I'll let you do it.
Got to make sure it's 0, and then.
Okay, you can't see this, but I'll verify it. An aero road bike with full, you know, deep dish wheels, 7.95.
7.95.
So just a smidge, 50 grams under 8 kgs. So that's about what you'd expect.
Yeah, absolutely.
A world-class aero bike with deep wheels.
Yeah, generally an aero bike, you're pretty much going to be coming in about 7.4 to 8,
Especially
and probably
brakes.
a little bit higher, especially if you go for deeper wheels. But that's fully loaded. We've got the computer mount on the front there. We've got bottle cages and pedals. So some people wear their bikes when they've got nothing on them, and then claim that it's a lot lower weight, but that's fully ready to ride at 7.9.
I want to ask you about these wheels.
Yeah.
They say foil on them, and
Yep.
I know that, you know, this is a New Zealand bike, so we're talking about the New Zealand bikes that you can get now. You can get bikes, all kinds of cool independent bike manufacturers all over the world making great bikes like this. What about these wheels? Because I've never seen this before, this brand foil.
So it's lovely having a bike that is made by somebody that you know. It's a really nice feeling to have that connection, and it's the same thing with foil wheels. So foil wheels are produced out of Hong Kong, but by a couple of Kiwis. So Gordon Macaulay and Scott, I'm not sure what his second name is, but they're both Kiwis. And foil, I have got a couple of sets of these foils, and I can't tell the difference between these, my giant wheels that I have on my other aero bike, and also the zips that I previously had. These are just really stiff and great performance. So I've got a deeper set of these as well, and they just roll and roll and roll. The other good thing about these is that they're really good price. So if you're looking to build a bike that, you know, or you just need a set of wheels, they kind of cut out the middleman, so they're direct to market. You literally jump onto the website, order what you want. So they've got loads of different rim depths. I've got 65s, 50s, there's a 38 on the front of here. They also do them in a rim, and they're pretty light. They're pretty comparable to most of the other wheels. They're tubeless ready, so it doesn't mean you can actually stick tubeless on there straight off the gun. You still need to put the rim tape on and seal them up properly,
Right.
but they're all ready to go.
DT Swiss hubs.
DT Swiss, these come with the 350 hubs. You can change these out. I'm not sure whether you can do it on the disc versions, but definitely on the rim they do the 240s and the White Industries, but they are fantastic wheels. Really, really, really rate them.
Last thing before we put the Chapter2 RERE away, let's give it a twirl. Let's see what the wheel sounds like. Discreet.
Yeah, nice.
It's quite discreet. I like that.
Before we go, the one thing I do love about this bike is, like, being a small rider, you know, little legs, don't have this problem. I think bikes, when they come in a small size, have a tendency to look a little bit childish, and they can look a little bit...
Just like people when they come in a small size.
But this, I think, You're saying I look like a kid?
What's your point? Carry on.
The small size looks fantastic. So usually, you know, you get a slightly more, less of a rake on that top tube. The sort of compact angles don't really translate. But the way Mike's designed it means you get a nice, good bit of seat post coming out, and it does look...
Looks like a proper road bike.
Looks like a proper big man's bike, like an adult's bike.
Looks proper Euro.
Yeah, proper Euro. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
That is very good. So thank you, Tim.
So are we going to see your bike next time then, John?
Yeah, sure.
Or are you going to bring one in?
Sure, we'll see my bike next time. That's a good pledge. Now it's time for us to unbox a couple of things. So here we've got the Lazer Coyote MIPS helmet. Now we've been talking about MIPS here at the Ride Live for 3 weeks. We did some pretty good MIPS helmets, an aero road helmet and then a normal road helmet last week. And this week we've got a couple of awesome looking mountain bike helmets. And we're going to start here with the Coyote, which is sort of their mid-range MIPS helmet. But it's got inside, as we pull it out of the box, you can see inside the distinctive yellow MIPS branding on there, which shows you that it's got that MIPS protection, which is the impact protection system that allows the whole helmet to sort of revolve and rotate if you get an angled smash on your head, so you don't twist your neck off. So we'll give it the old.
See, it's a medium, and I can't be the model for a medium.
Why? Because
I've got a
pinhead.
big noggin.
Oh, you got a big head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, little shoulders, big head.
That's what they say. So there you go. This is the.
I'm seeing a reoccurring theme in our Ride Lives, having helmets, having you modelling the
I
helmets.
really enjoy putting on helmets. It's really good fun because it feels like I'm about to go for a ride. I'm like, yeah, or like a dog when you say walkies.
We should build up just like a set of shots of just you in helmets as we go on. How does it feel though? Does it
does
feel
feel
all right?
good. Yeah, it does feel good. It's got the system of twisting at the back here,
Yeah.
I think the next one we're going to see has got the other system that Lazer likes to do. But it is sort of an entry level, comes in the red, the black and the white, which are the three sort of Lazer colours for helmets. 355 grams, so it's about probably standard weight for a mountain bike helmet.
Yeah, absolutely.
But good quality, right?
Like the colours, these Lazer colours, that red it's kind of a slightly deeper red than you get, rather than that sort of electric, which looks great. I do like the way it's called a Coyote though. I think this will be good for a sort of teenager, teenage rider. Buy it for your sons and daughters.
Yeah.
But I think it just looks like a solid helmet.
And a nice touch on the Lazer helmets, at least these ones. A lot of cheaper helmets, if they are cheaper, will have no finishing on the foam around the bottom and the back of the helmet. Do you know what I mean? Whereas
so
this one is finished all the way around, so it's just a little slightly higher level of finish on these Lazer helmets.
So you mean like when you get that sort of look of foam down the bottom?
Which you can see inside, right? You can see the look of the foam.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like on the inside. And normally you see that all the way around, even on fancy.
Yeah, on
helmets, you
road
see it
helmets.
around
I was
on
going
road
to say you
helmets,
usually get that, but yeah, I do notice that now that you have got that
It probably adds
finishing.
Adds 20 grams to the helmet. But
Yeah, but when you're bashing around, you want a good protection rather than.
So that's your Lazer
Coyote.
Coyote.
Just put
Now,
that on top. There you go.
Coyote, of course, a fairly heavy sort of dog. Do you want something a little bit lighter, a little bit faster? Let's go for a different sort of animal, maybe a lighter, faster animal. What about...
Maybe a medium-sized antelope from Africa?
Probably a
Maybe?
good guess. Why not the Impala? The Impala is what we're saying. So here we go.
Isn't it a car as well, the Impala?
Yeah, it's a Chevy, I think, an Impala. Oh, this one's bagged up. Michael, can we take it out of the bag?
Oh, of course.
We're going to get in trouble?
Bag it up.
Okay. Now we're really unboxing now.
Get those skinny road arms.
Oh, I'm throwing.
What's that? Bag?
Comes with a bag. You want to show
What else comes in there? What else is in there?
Now I'll give you that stuff to look at. Ooh, now straight away, you're getting a feeling of a more premium sort of product. It is a gorgeous two-tone black finish with the matte and
Matte
then the
versus gloss. Yeah, that
versus
looks
gloss,
awesome.
which is really lovely. And
GoPro mount.
GoPro mount, is that
Strap
what's in
the
there?
GoPro
Okay,
mount
to
on.
put your GoPro
Yep.
on the
I
top.
think officially called the Action Cam mount.
Action cam mount.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
Action Cam.
If
Yeah.
GoPro wants to sponsor us, then tell.
Or a DJI Osmo.
Yes. Ooh, that's
Action Cam, you know.
Inside you got your MIPS again, the MIPS shell, and very much in full focus.
It's
As you can see,
glossy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at that.
The straps are whole different. The lighter, much lighter strap,
Yeah.
so it's a lighter affair. This one is faster, lighter, 300 grams. It's got internal ventilation channels, so it's very well reviewed for ventilation. This
Now, I
helmet.
hear you say it makes you go faster.
Well, I think so.
Yeah,
And
definitely way faster.
do I look faster? I don't know. And what it has got is an adjustable visor. So the other visor was fixed.
Yep.
It's in one position.
Oh, yeah.
No choice. Doesn't matter which way the rain or
Oh,
sun is
okay.
going. You're
Yep.
stuck. This one, you can flick it up,
That's a bit more handy, isn't it?
flick it up, flick it down. It gives you room to store your goggles or your sunnies up there if you want.
Can you
Or
take
flick it
those
down.
off as well? Do the visors come off?
Good question.
not advisable.
Oh, it's got like a little,
Not
looks
advisable.
like. Not advisable, why?
Just like that pun.
Because Lazer want it back.
So there we go.
Nice helmet.
That would be the Lazer Impala mountain bike helmet for all to see.
All right, nice one. Well, it's becoming a running theme with the helmets. I wonder what we'll have next week.
Excitement.
Because last week, if you go back last week, you had the reflective Giro
Yep.
Ether
Yep.
that I missed. I
Yeah.
didn't get to have a look at.
Sexy reflections on that one.
Yeah, nice.
Now, we're going to do some rants and raves, at least one rant and rave.
Okay.
And today we've had very, very good news released in Auckland about our harbour bridge, formerly a symbol of embarrassment for our whole company, for our whole country. For our whole country.
For our whole company.
For those of you who are not New Zealanders, the Auckland Harbour Bridge, look it up, Google it, is a beautiful bridge. It was made in 1959 when the North Shore of Auckland was just being settled, and more suburbs were up there. It was a very long way to drive around to get there. It was like about a 40-minute drive to get to the North Shore.
Although it's a very good ride.
A great ride if you're ever in Auckland, come for a ride and go around the harbour. It
just takes a long time.
But we're only thinking about a 1 kilometre stretch of harbour that they needed to cross. So in 1959, they built this harbour bridge, a beautiful thing.
And obviously they built it for cars and bikes and people.
And maybe trains, as you would for
And
any
trains,
iconic, important city link in any major city in the world. No, they built it for cars only, and they only built it 4 lanes wide. So immediately, it was obsolete. Yeah. They needed to build, because as soon as they opened the bridge, the North Shore boomed.
Yeah.
And the traffic quickly over.
So not very good forward planning on the behalf of...
No. So immediately they put some clip-on lanes on the outside. So they added 2 more lanes on each side. So they doubled the capacity of the bridge within the first, I'm not sure how long it took after they built it, but you know, in the next 15 years, they doubled the capacity with these clip-ons.
I like the way you say clip-on. It's like just like a helmet visor.
They were called, at the time, and forgive the language, they were called the Nippon clip-ons, because this was the 70s, and that's the way they talked then.
Oh, really?
But because they got the technology from Japan to add these clip-ons to the existing bridge. Now, fast forward, in fact, as soon as they built the bridge, there was no ability to walk or cycle on that bridge.
Yeah.
You had to have a car to get across. And that has been a bugbear for the people of Auckland since 1959 when it was built.
Although they have done events where you get to cross over that, but for 1 day a year.
1 day a year for...
You can run over it.
For the Auckland Marathon.
Yeah.
And
Bike the bridge.
Bike the bridge for an event like Bike the Bridge. And a couple of times for protests. So 2009 we were in a protest where they said, we've got to get across the bridge. We need to build something on this bridge. People have been, you know, hassling, protesting, barracking for a cycle and walking way across the bridge for many years. 2009 we had a big protest and the Skypath design began. And over the ensuing 10 years, because the transport agency that's in charge of the bridge would not do anything about building a bike path and a walking path on the bridge, this band of plucky New Zealanders got together, did their own design, got their own engineering sorted out, went through all the iterations that it took.
Kind of the number 8 wire.
The number 8 wire approach, get it done approach. They got it through resource consent. They got the council on board. They got the central government on board. In August 2018, the central government promised that they would actually fund this and make it happen. Since then, NZTA, who's in charge of our roads here in New Zealand, have been delaying nothing, not communicating anything back to these people about what's actually happening. Are we getting the Skypath?
Yeah, in terms of funding, in terms of
just in
timing.
terms of, is it happening?
Right.
Is it going to happen? And finally, today, something has happened. And there was a protest organised for this Sunday, but on this day, today, Wednesday, we were going to walk across the bridge again on Sunday. It was all going to happen again, just like 10 years ago. It was going to happen again. But today, NZTA came out and announced that there will be a Skypath over the bridge. They've got their own design, so it's not the original design that was made. It wasn't, that's called Skypath. It's a whole new design, but everybody is very happy. And the original and the Skypath people who put that original design together have gotten on board and are going to be supportive of this new design.
So what's the difference between the old Skypath design and the new design that NZTA are proposing?
The new design is not out in full detail yet, but as far as we understand, it is very good. It is not attached to the clip-ons like the Skypath was. It's attached to the actual piers of the bridge, the concrete piers that go in. That means it can hold more weight, so there's no limit to the amount of people that can be on it at once. I think it's a little wider than the original one, and it's fully separated cycling from walking, so it will be a better experience on there. It's got big bays where people can come and stand and look out as a view, so tourists, you know, you can do your bit of touristing and your selfies from on there.
And obviously separated from the cyclists so they don't get hit as the cyclists come flying by, or the Lime scooters.
Exactly. So it's a big day for walking and cycling in the world, a big day for recreational cycling. It's a big day for cycling as transport. It'll mean that finally the people on the shore can ride across, and finally you can ride the length of, you know, of New Zealand the way you should be able to.
And hopefully that will be a big push to get more people on bikes. and commuting to work, and increase in both push bikes and electric bikes and getting across. I take it this is not for things like scooters or...
Well, not motor scooters, no, not motorised transport. I'm sure e-bikes will be allowed. But it's, when you fill these gaps in a roading system, the more gaps you fill in, the more people start to come in. And it eventually, when enough gaps are filled in...
So that is a definite rave, not a rant.
That's a rave. Yeah.
That's a rave. That's going to be a real plus for Auckland when they actually implement. Do we
cool.
know what timing? Do we know anything about when
they have
when
promised
they're looking
they will
to do it?
start the build next year? So that's pretty imminent. That's a pretty good promise, and it's given everybody a lot of hope that they're serious. It's going to go ahead.
Yeah.
These things take a long time. They start next year. Who knows how long it'll take to actually pull it off? But
see how it goes.
Sometime soon.
Yeah. Well, for everybody who hasn't actually hit that like button or that subscribe button, since we last said, I think it's a very good time for you to actually pick up your mouse, shake your hand off, and actually click and get us ready.
So TBallz?
Yes.
Yeah, what's been happening on Instagram this week, buddy?
Oh yeah. What have you got
So my Instagram is all about when I'm riding. So
I'm going to look it up. So what
you'll see,
this week, am I gonna see
there's a couple of pictures. They may not have been from this week. They may have been from previous times. But that's what your social media profile is all about, isn't it? It's painting a picture of yourself that's not quite real.
Is it still just a picture of you on a blue bike and everything's blue?
Yeah, everything's blue.
Have you decided to branch out and actually give us some content?
No, still exactly the same content. When you go to my Instagram profile, what you're going to get is exactly what you signed up for. Pictures of me in blue on a bike.
So,
your hand is so still.
If that's what you're really into, do check out Tim's, I don't want to say boring, monotonous. Is that too harsh?
Oh God, can you use some positive adjectives?
No, but I can't fault it. 712 likes on that picture of Tim wearing blue on a bike, by the way.
Yeah, come on, we can make that.
I don't understand.
770?
I don't understand, but I'm going to do it. I'll choose a different colour. I'm going to go green.
Yeah.
Start my Instagram account. I'll just pictures of me wearing green on a bike.
Black with laser.
Hey, that's us from the Ride Live, episode 3. Thanks for joining us here at Guild Trap Skoda in Newmarket. We very much appreciate it. Do like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next week when hopefully we'll have Paige back with us.
Yeah, so you won't have to look at two old gits talking about helmets.
It'll be 2 old kids plus somebody younger.
Somebody much younger and more interesting.
Love it. Thanks, guys.
We'll see you next time on the ride.